and then I share the screen. All right, it's not recommend on yeah, it's control both on both platform. It's control, even on YouTube2 it's also control. All right, so you should go to mapbox.com, create your account, and then you should have the API key. Then we will work on it using that key. Okay, first step. Shit, I have a box here. Okay, first step. We will have one command. We need to install it first, though. Right? Go to Express Generator. I'm gonna link you that. What the hell? Charles put in the wrong link, so we can go to, for example, Express Generator. Go here, and you can use both. You can use NBS or MEM install globally. So I'm gonna choose this one. Okay, see out. What was it? Demos. Cause the what I did here. Oh, so this one is the code that we done earlier. You have to stop Node.js again. Gonna see run as a command, but it's not a command. Control C. It's a hotkey. You hold down the control. You press C multiple times. Then you have to run Node.js, not app.js again. Yes. Hold your control key. Press C a couple of times until your terminal is terminated. Okay, so let's do it again. CD where I'm gonna remove okay, let's install npm install global -g means like you want to install as a global package. I mean to refresh the page in the what? Yeah. Coming out. So without using no daemon, you have to like stop the server and run the server again, and then refresh the page. If you have no daemon running, you can just refresh the page. The code will be like automatically compiled. Right? Is it working? Okay, but it doesn't work for me. Oh yeah, let's try follow the lab that use a generator, express generator. I will show you how to use it first. Right. So it helps you to create a kind of like a skeleton for you. Why should you with project effect? Now, we're gonna use a express generator a couple of times in the future, maybe, right? So we want it to be global.
Yeah.
So instead of making deal, you can just start by anyone. No, this one is just to install the packet. The library, not the library, but the module, the package. We want to install the packet express generator in order to use it, and then we will do another run another command later. Right after this. For example, if you want to run JSON server, right, you have to install JSON server first, and then you run JSON server. Use that command. Does it work now, George? Wait. Do I share my screen, my face, or no? Press. So if you haven't installed it yet, do it now. I'm trying to change the title on the page. Emily, you try to run sudo npm install. Okay. It doesn't refresh. I try to change title of page and refresh. Alright, Jared, you have to stop the server, run it again, and then refresh the page. No. You go into your terminal, your VS Code terminal, rest Ctrl C in there until you see the server is stopped, right? Wait, what? Even if you shut down the server, it still show up in the browser? What? No way. There's no way. Maybe you have two servers running at the same time, but that's not gonna happen because earlier we had got the port to 5000. So, alright, whatever, you can stop that and then we can redo everything over again using the generator. Okay, because it has nothing to do with the early morning, the earlier lecture. Okay, so I can have permission deny. On Mac, you use sudo npm install blah 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 blah. Yeah, add the sudo in the front, and then you have to enter your password. On Windows, you can just simply run it, or you have to run as an admin. You run the terminal as an admin. Is that okay now, Joris? You can like create a new project, follow the instruction here and create a totally new project. No, for now, let's create a new project with generator. We are gonna use a tool that's it's kind of like a shortcut for you. So I'm gonna show you how to use it now. All right. No, that is a kind of like manual way. Now we are going to use a express generator so we have the same structure for everyone. Like it's a tool that will do it for us. So the npm install express is like npm no, not really, but kind of it's very similar, but it's not at the same time. It's not, but it's kind of similar. Yes. And so yeah. Are you okay now, everyone? Let me see the express here. So this is the first thing you have to run. You run this tool to install Express. This is not Express, but it's like a package with the command Express. It's not Express framework, but another tool to create a framework, Express framework for you. So run this one. I'm gonna run it again if you want me to. Doesn't matter where you run this one, just run it. Okay. Okay, next step, we're gonna go with Express and let's something like this. Okay, look at my terminal here. Express and we want to hyphen view equal. We already know how it works, right, from yesterday class. So we want to give it an option, an argument here, view equal to SBS, which is handlebars. Okay, and this one is the name of our app here. Let's call it Weatherapp. Okay, are you here yet? And then just hit enter. Okay, as you can see here, this tool, even though it's called Express, but it's not really the framework. It's just another tool. We'll create a structure like this, a skeleton for us. So inside our folder Weatherapp here, we should have a directory called public, another one called routes, another one called views, and bin. Okay, in those folder we also have a subfolder and files accordingly here. And then you have a couple of instructions here. You cd to the Weatherapp, install it. You remember how to do install, and then if you want to run the app, just copy this slide. So I'm gonna copy this, cd to Weatherapp, do npm install, and then we run the app like this. Okay, let's see if it works. All right, so by default it will run on port 3000. Okay, let's open our browser and try it. Localhost 3000, hit enter. Okay, you actually see a web server here. So welcome to Express, means it works. So I expect you guys to like catching up to this step. Where is it? Okay. Are you guys here? I can see your face. Let me see your face. How the hell you lost? There's nothing. We haven't done anything. We just installed two things. How do I see people? Okay, here. npm install. Wait a bit. Okay. Yes, it's the same, but I think the instruction there missing one step. I think. Let me see. Week 7. Where is it? Week 7. Okay. All right. This step here, it just something weird here. Let me go to this. All right. You need to do this one first, and then you run this. I'm gonna fix this one. Orion, comment not found. Show me command not found. Have you installed this one? Install this command. Where the hell is it? No. This no. Where am I? Okay. This one first. Without the dollar sign. How do I copy without dollar sign? Yeah, sudo that. And then you can try to quit the terminal and open it again. It's very simple. You need one more step to make that. Oh, this step is just to install the tool. That's it. You only do it once, and then in the future you only do express and hyphen view equal to something. Yeah. So because this is the first time we do it, so we have to install the tool here, and then we use a tool to create the Express app. All right, can anyone do it? Can quit the terminal, open it again, and then try to say Express. When you type it, you should see a menu here. Quit and run again. Yeah. How to? So it's not installed. Make sure this command works for you. you have to look at the results, the logs. Make sure it works first. For example, if it works, you can type express and you can see the menu here, and just say no. All right. So it's pretty much the same as on the portal. So now you want to make any we just yes, exactly Nguyên. Nhân yes, kind of Nhân. As long as you can create your app, it's okay. Create your Express app with Express generator is okay. There's no fixed solution. Just do it like where am I? Okay. So this is the basic instruction from the official website. So I just follow it. And I think this one is another shortcut. Could be, yeah. It could be another shortcut. Right, so who hasn't like finished creating Express app? Say something so I know I can fix. Okay, I assume that you guys finish it, right? In here, why is this? I'm gonna close this one. Okay. What do you mean by lucky? What is this? Right, so open the creator, hit code to open your project here. So basically after you run that command, you will see something like this. You have folder bin, non-modules. To have this folder, you have to do npm install. Make sure you do npm install. And you have a public folder, the routes folder, views folder. Basically, the public folder here will be your front end. So all the images, all the JavaScript for the browser, all the style sheets will go to public folder. All right. The route here is what we will do. Oh, they use React Router as right away, right on the bat. Oh, okay. So I will have to explain a little bit about this, but yeah, for now just use it. Okay, you have a folder routes, which is your controller. This is kind of like your controller. So you will have handle on the routes, the logic in the routes inside these functions. And you also have another folder called views. Basically, this folder will contain on the SPS file, which is the handlebar files, and they look like this. Alright, okay. The app.js, there's a lot of configs here. There's a lot of boilerplate here. Basically, I'm not going all over it, but kind of like no one else have a question, right? Have I? Why have? Because Bảo, you copy and paste, you haven't changed anything. I told you here. We need to -view equal SBS. We don't run with pug, we run SBS. I know why in my view my error equal shade. Why have pug file view? So just don't use pug, it's okay. If you have pug, just don't use it. Because yesterday Charles asked me something and he said so by default the view engine will be pug, but if you like state it like this, it will change to HBS. Right, and can have Jade. I don't know why you have J, but what did you do there? How the hell that we all run the same command and we have different results? What did you do? I don't know what did you do. Like you have to say something like What command did you run? And
It's the same.
really, so
Yeah. No,
how do people like have
I
different
don't
results?
do anything different with you.
I actually run this code 3 times and they are on FPS. I did it 3 times already.
But you know what? I think I have everything double. I have bin, and then inside there I have not module. But how can I say? But I have
All right.
everything both.
To avoid that kind of problem, can you delete the whole folder, right? And then redo it everything again. Right now you don't have to install the right now you don't have to install the something like sudo npm install express generator now. You only have to do express. Let me copy that line for you. Here, just run this one. Just delete the folder and run this one, please. Right. You can see this. Yes. Yeah. Just make go outside. Run this command again and with a different name. Remember, change this name. Change this. Sorry, I have only one screen. But basically, you want to run something like this: express view equal fps and then the name of the app, your app name. If you already have the name, the folder with that name, you need to choose another name, right? Yeah, if you have right, how do you set view to if you already, you mean call, you mean you already use FPS, no, no, you already use the express generator to create the app, right? And now you want to change to FPS instead of pub. Is that what you mean? Okay. So inside here, let me show you inside the app here. Okay. You need to change this. For example, in your maybe in your application, it could be something like pub here, right? You need to change it to FPS. Basically, this line is telling the Express app, okay, use SPS as my engine, my view engine. All right. And I think the folder is kind of like the same, but yeah, I think that's it. All right, cool. Okay, is everyone done? Does like anyone have problems so far? No one? Okay, let's move on. What's FF? Give me a play. Right, I'm gonna delete this one. Okay, so here's my app. Okay, and if you want to run the app, you can do this command. What is it? Here. So basically, we want to run our app on debugging mode. Can you see here? Okay. Now start the app and check if your app is running by visit your browser here and then go location one. All right. So now I'm gonna run it on 5,000 instead of 3,000. I hate it. Stop it. Uh, change change my env if I have it. How come I don't have any env file? Okay, we have something here. Project.env. Let's go and create a new file called .env. Inside here, I'm gonna have port equal 5,000. Save it. Run again. Still 3,000 because it cannot read the port 3,000. You can install something called this one, npmjs.com. So basically, I'm telling you how to use the global environment in order to run on Heroku. So after today, you may want to deploy your app to Heroku, right? By default, Heroku will run your app on port 5,000. it doesn't allow any other port, so you have to run your app on 5000. And to do that, you need to use a env environment to run it. So just I don't think it's this one. Let's go again. .env, I think. Yeah, this one is the correct one. So npm install.env. Again, npm install.env. Okay. So create a file called .env and port equal 5000. Yes, we are gonna change 3000 to 5000. I did a new project, so but it still have yeah, doesn't matter. It's okay. Just skip it. You don't have to delete it. Okay, Khan, go to your app.js and make sure that your view engine here, maybe around 14, that you have view engine is connected to HBS. Okay, Khan. Say something. Okay, Joris, the question, the reason is we don't want to hardcode it. We want to use variable. Yes, we want to use variable. Try to avoid hardcoding as much as possible. You will do it sooner or later, so I think it's good if you do it now. All right, go down, copy this line here. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it here. Yes, and then process.env.port. I think it's gonna work. Let's try it. Okay. All right, now it's run on 5000, right? Can you do this part again? I have no idea which part now. All right, so many people ask so different questions. Okay, let's start everything again. You should install .env package. Okay, go to the website, npm.js, and search for this package. You will see instruction here. Install it. npm install.env. Okay. After installation, you copy this line and you can put it inside app.js or put it in here. I think it's put in here better. Okay, put in here, copy and paste at the top, and then that will allows you to read the process.env variables. Process.env variables. You need to install this and import it like this, and then just call it. And because in my .env file, I already defined port equal to 5000 here, right? So that's why when we run it, okay, as you can see here, the log say listening on port 5000, right? Instead of 3000. All right, it works out. All right, right. If anyone has problem, tell me right away so we can fix it, and then just a step slow so you don't have to go and again. All right. Does anyone need some help? Error, port file, or use? All right, Joris. You probably have a terminal that has the like the process run on 5000 already. So try to find the process and stop it. Go and find the process and stop it. I don't know. I cannot control your computer. So basically, you have Google like how to stop a service on port something. You use a Mac, right? Mac. Here, okay, how to kill a service running on port using something. Can I see you? Okay, there's nothing different. This is default. Can you show me the step? It's not running. Why it's not alright, I think okay let can you show me the step after require this? Can create a file called .env, alright, and then inside that put port equal 5000. That's it. And bin, are you sure the name of your folder is Weatherapp, right? What is the name of your folder? Can you type here the name of your folder? Weather.js. So as you can see there, you have a hyphen in your command, but the folder name is underscore. You run a command with with a hyphen here. What do you mean? Okay. You are trying to run this command, right? And the folder name is not that weather hyphen not JS, it's weather underscore not JS. Just don't copy. If you change the name of the folder, don't copy on the learning portal. There's an instruction here. Yeah, of course, npm star it works, but npm star doesn't run your application on developing mode. We want to run on development mode so that we can change stuff. But it's okay if you want to run on production mode. It's okay. Okay, bin. You have to do these 3 steps. cd into the folder, install it here, and then run the command here. Depends on your machine. All right. Can you say something? Okay. All right. Where are we? And Joris, this is how you kill a service running on some port, right? First step, okay, you need to run this command. Now you want to find the port number 5000, so you type 1000 in here. All right, let me show you here. I think all right, you got it right. I think there should not be a comma there. No protocol name. Okay, 5000 I think. What? Okay, now you can see one application, one service is running on 5000. Yeah, restarting mean like you kill everything. So if you want to kill one process, you find the ID here. Okay, and that file ID you run this command kill -9 and then the ID. Where star C user super node win it is mean message running. I don't know what did you run to have that results. Yeah. But you just see something like this, though, listening on some port. If you see something like this, it means your web server is running. All right, let's move on. Okay, let's go to the real thing again. I'm gonna explain the structure here. So inside the app.js here you have a lot of configurations. Here you want to run HTTP servers and you install and import a lot of middlewares. Right now you just know middleware, and this generator already like set up all the middleware for you. So right now you just use it. And yes. Okay, this error handler, don't worry about this just yet. So basically you will have a file that will contain all the global variables. For example, right now I'm using port, and I will use for example, there are two keys, API keys here that I'm going to use, so I'm going to put it there. So the first one is this one. Let's call it dark sky API. Dark sky equal to this, right? One more. What was it? The mark box account. Click on account and go to mark box and copy your API key. So this is my API key, and let's call it markbox equal this key. I think we need to have a string. Alright. This one I don't need a string because it's just it will like understand as a string. But here I saw a period here, so I'm not sure it will understand a string. So that's why I have a quotation. Alright, so we have 3 variables, and then I think we need to stop server and run again every time we change something inside our environment file. So stop it, run again. Cool, still run on 5000 of course. And then that's it for the environment. Where's the API account? Oh my god, it's here. I don't know. Just go click it and click on account, and you can see it here. Cool. Alright. I did this one 3 months ago when I was preparing for this material, right? Right, and what was it? Where are we? Okay, we're done this step. Now we can check the router. This where we will see on the router. For example, if you go to index here, let's forget about user. Let's work on the index route here. Right? Any question? No. We have some page called index here, and the title is express. Let's go to index.hbs, and when we change a little bit here, let's say welcome to ATM title my Weatherapp, for example. Welcome to my Weatherapp. Welcome to my Weatherapp. Okay, and we should see it change right away. No, it's running on 5000. No, it doesn't change, so we have to start again. That's stupid. Alright, it changed now. Okay, cool. There's one more thing we need to talk about. I already stated inside the lab here. HBS is a view engine, and it works like separately from the Express. And we need one more thing in order to make it like there's a hot reload for SBS as well. And let me find it. Okay, not more. Oh my god, Charles deleted. Right, so basically if you look at your JSON file here, package.json, you only see MEM star, right? You don't have MEM run dev. So we can add one more line here if we want. It means that when we run npm run dev, it will execute this command here. Every time you change, I don't know, try it every time. All right. Okay. So now let's move on. Can you paste a line here, please? Remember the comma. Where am I? Okay, now you can actually style your page by adding. So I will explain this one. Okay, basically the biggest or the parents, or you can call it the grandparents, the grandpa files will be your layout.sps. So this file will contain index. For example, here you have a body, right? And index will go to your body. So index here, these two things here will be here. Yeah. So we can like use nested templates. Like if we have put it body here, and then inside in here we can change the content without worrying about the other parts of our website. We only worry about the body, for example. And how you may ask like how the hell like Express understand that, right? I think inside here you have some setting in here. There should be some setting, or by default it's body. I don't know. Okay, index. Wow, how do I understand it like that? So smart. Okay, there's an explanation from Charles here. The layout of the top level stuff is kind of like the grandparents, and then inside you have header and the body. Every page will inherit from the parents, right? Via this kind of like syntax here, you have triple curly braces, which is like stupid, but it's there. There's another way to do it, and I actually use that way a lot. It's more like your React components, and that is called partials. But right now we don't need to worry about it because we have too little components to do, so we don't need to use partials. But like if you have like a navbar, a body, a footer, a second footer, you can use partial. Partial means components, right? So anything with young but for some background writing, you can read it here. So don't worry about that yet. You can have a style sheet here. You can link it to your style sheet here, and you can look at your public folder. Inside public folder, you have a folder called style sheets. If you want to style something, just put your style here, right? Okay. And also, if you have some more JavaScript, for example, you will need this to get the current location from the user on the browser. You need to run this JavaScript on the browser. That's why you have to put it in the public. Okay, this script will be this script inside here will be executed on the browser, and all of these app.js here are executed on the server side. So that's the difference between client and server. I think it's very confusing. Okay, any question until here? I think I have to share my face. How do I share my face? Right, this is my face. Right, it's very confusing, so I expect to have some question. Again, you may add some JavaScript to make your web page lively. For example, when you hover something, it will like shine or pop out. And for those kind of JavaScript code, you need to put it inside your JavaScript here folder here, and then you link it to your from your HTML files. For example, here you can have I forgot. You can call it script, and then source equal something like this, right? And this one has to be JavaScript, and this one MyScript and .js. Okay, inside here let's create a MyScript JS. Okay, just empty, it's okay. All right, we already know this from HTML from week 1 already. So public folder is for client and everything else is for server. Yes. I like these kind of like rephrasing, confirmation question. Okay, let's close this one. And next step, he tell us to style our page, but let's not worry about it. I will leave it to you guys. Second one, we want to have a, for example, a form, right? And the user, let me show you my web page first. Okay, for example here, user will say, will type in Hanoi, right? He will type in Hanoi, and when he click get forecast, the user expect to see the weather in Hanoi right away, but it takes a lot of time calling the API. I don't know. Let me see. Why is it so slow? Right, Hanoi. Oh my god, the API is pending, so shitty. Okay, it works now. As you can see, shit, it's gone. Okay, expect when the user type in the input there, the form here, and click on it or hit enter, you will be like redirect to another route. For example, here we have a weather / weather. You can see it, right? / weather, and you will have some URL, something like this. All right, so that's the behavior we want. Okay, let's build a form first, right? Where am I? In this, so we are gonna work in here. Hello, welcome to my what was it? My Weatherapp. Right. So I'm gonna put in a form here. Form. Okay. And we will have 2 fields. The first field is gonna be input. Right. Can we save close like this? I'm not sure. The second one is gonna be button, and this button have the type submit. Okay, get weather. Cool. And let's name it. This one gonna name. Let's call it user input. Okay. And placeholder equals something. Enter your city. All right. Go back and check. Let me close these windows. Right. Check it again. All right. We actually see something here. Cool. It's so small. If it's so small, I can make it bigger. All right. We see a form. We input and the button. Right, so now our purpose is to make enter the Hanoi, for example, Hanoi, and then we click the get weather. Oh, it does say okay, user input equal to Hanoi, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't redirect us to a new page, right? Yet, right? So we have 2 properties inside the form, which we I think not that many people have already used it, but let's go. I'm gonna change this one to city to make it beautiful because user input looks so ugly. Change this one to city. Okay. Change this one. User input, change it to city. And inside the form here we have 2 properties. The first one is gonna be action, and the second one is gonna be method. Okay, let's go. And I'm gonna change this one to get. And I'm gonna explain what's method and what's action. So action is like when you submit a form, the action means like you will go to that route For example, if I type in here and I say weather, right? When I click submit, I expect to go to the weather with a query question mark, city equal to whatever I type in. So here, delete this. Okay, if I say Hanoi and I hit enter, I expect to go to the route weather question mark city equal to Hanoi. Right? Any question about this one? To build a server-side client, a server-side front end, we need to like be very strong on this. We have to need to have a good understanding on how the form works. And if you have no idea how it works, we can go here, HTML, read it. Yes. All right. So this is PHP, right? So you can action when you hit enter or you click submit. The form will like redirect you to this route. All right. And without mentioning about the method, it's gonna be get. If you want it to be a post method, you have to say method equal to post. All right. Cool. Right now, our next job is to define a route to handle this request, the get request to where. Okay, go to index here and we can do something router dot get same thing, and then we can put weather in here, and then function. Okay, if you want to use function, you can use function, or if you want to use arrow function, you can do it too, doesn't matter. And that's it. All right, it's a function. Oh shit. Okay, it's a function. Now we can console log. So right now we understand that we're gonna have a query called whatever. What was it? A query city equal to Hanoi, right? City equal to Hanoi. Now let's say all the city. Let's key query, and let's call queries equal to request dot query. All right, and now we can console log queries. Let's call it Q. Okay, just name it like this. Query is an object, so it's gonna be a single. All right, and then we want to respond something. Response dot render, and then we can choose whatever the page we want. For example, right now I'm gonna call this page weather. Just that's it. Okay, so I want when the user go to this route, send a request to this route, get request to this route, he expect to see we are expect to render the weather.hbs to the user, but right now we don't have that file yet, so we have to create one more called weather.hbs here. And the content here, let's go with just cd s1 and then s1 here. Welcome to slash weather. Save it. Okay. Nothing new. We just like redo everything that we already did in the morning, and accept the form. Right. So now if I hit enter here, it still work. It should work. Not. Why? Not found. Weatherapp. Did I save it? Index get weather. Wait, hang on, let me think. Function request response. Oh, okay, there's some problem with the here. You need to, every time you create a new file, HBS file, I think you have to restart the server. Do we need to run server again? Actually, we don't have to, but when you change something in HBS, not really change, but if you have like create a new file, a new HBS file, I think you have to like restart the server because on the SBS file is like it's being cached, a copy or being cached to your memories only when you run first start app. Okay, if during the development you change something, you like create a new file, you have to start a server again. That's what I run into before. So npm start, I hope it's work. Okay, now it does work, right? So the reason is right, my reason is right. So every time you create a new SBS file, you need to stop the server and start again. There's one way to get around that. I used to have it in the lab here, but now he deleted it in order to use the generator, so it's gone now. I will go and find for you guys later if you want. Okay, but for now just deal with it. Restart the server every time you add a new SBS file. Okay, what do you put in the weather SBS? Just some simple text, jurist. Where am I? Just this. All right. So now you don't have to do this step yet. We can like move on here. Instead of putting static text here, what if I want to render the city name that the user enter on the URL there? For example, I can pass in another object called city equal to query dot city, right? City, and then inside our weather here we can welcome to, we can use a variable here, interpolation. Let's call it city, and let's see what happens if we refresh the page. All right, welcome to city Hanoi. It doesn't work, really. Go back to the app, and there's, I have city query. I think there's no, oh, we should see a console log. Okay, it's another city and query city query.city. We should see Hanoi in there, right? We should see Hanoi in there. Is it the correct syntax anyway? Ah, shit. CT. Why is it not showing? I don't know. Let's stop the server and run again. That's so annoying. Okay, now it's work. Oh, holy shit. I'm done with this. I'm so tired of this one. Alright, you have to restart every time you change something in the SBS. That's so bullshit. Right, I will find that solution for you guys later. Okay, get up the column. Actually, shit. Just give me some minute, guys. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute only. 1 minute only. Cancel. I can check commit. How do I see the commit list? Commit history. History here. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Can I find it? Okay, I will do it later. It takes a lot of time. I want to go back and find it, but so right now just restart the server every time you change the SBS file, please. All right, so we actually have the city inside our SBS file. Now we want to the next step, we want to use that city name and then get the geolocation. Is actually we want here, we want to use let's say I'm gonna comment out comment on this file, and then you can see we use city name here to get geo coordinates, right? And then we will use coordinates to fetch weather. All right, cool. So you can find tools that can get the weather directly from the city name, but that's not the purpose of this exercise, this lab. We want you to call API 2 times, and the second time has to be based on the result of the first time. So we can use a chaining function. We can chain two functions together. It's called chaining two functions. Okay. So after you finish this function, you will call another function right away. And where is this function? All right. So we need to use the city name here in order to get the geolocate coordinates. We need a something called here. This documentation, you need to go and read it. So basically something that looks like this. Okay, you have an API URL here. This is kind of like fixed. Everyone will have the same URL, and then here is the name of the locations, right? Here's the name or location of the city. I mean the city. For example, Los Angeles, and then we have Chester. And then we also have the API key in here. We have to stick our API key inside the URI. So let's go with one of them, and we're gonna use. I'm gonna copy this one and try it. Okay. Copy this, and let's go with just one function first. I'm gonna call this function is let's say get coordinate. Right, and this function, just make it simple, this function will return a coordinates or just console the coordinates. Okay, let's just console it first, and no, I want to make sure I'm going to show you. Okay, this function is gonna call an API and then return console our coordinate. So we want to pass in the city name. Okay, oh no, not that. Query.city. Okay, query.city only if we have to check only if query.city. It means like only if there is actually a query.city here, we will call the function. Else, no, this one is so bad. Else we will tell the user, okay, please enter a city name. Right, or we can like do something like that, redirect direct user redirect back to the root route here, right? If the user doesn't if he want to cheat and he doesn't put in the city name, yeah, he just want to cheat and enter our weather route like this, we will redirect that user back to the index route. Okay. That's the purpose of this line, and then I think we should return. Okay, and after that, if and then else, if we actually have the city name, we will use that city name to get a coordinates. My link return like this. Where you see why the hell is this user plus input Hanoi? Jurist, make sure inside your index SPS here in your form here you have the name equal city. All right, so check on that. I'm pretty sure you have a problem here, right? Okay, next. All right, so let's define the get coordinate function. And public, let's close it. Create another folder. Man, I really don't like this tab layout, but just go with it. So create another folder called module. You can call it modules, or you can call it utils. It can be anything, but people will call it, usually they call it modules. or they will call it utils, or some people then call it libs like this. A library is mean they are their own code, their own library code. So I'm gonna call it modules, or just whatever, just call it for utils. For example, I'm gonna call it utils. Inside the utils, I'm gonna, okay, it's raining. I'm gonna call get coordinate, get cost from JavaScript file. Inside that file, I'm gonna define this function. Okay, function get cost function. Okay, we take in the city name. All right, and then we have to export it. Export no, modules dot export equal to get coordinate. All right. So this is how we define a function and then export it. Are you sure? Are you with me? This one here. So right now this function doesn't know anything, just console city. Okay. Let's see what happened. Let me show you guys. Let's try the error first, right? So I'm going to weather. I hit enter. I expect to really. I'm gonna close one. Index. I expect to be redirected back to the root router, but it does not. Let's console. If you run into a problem, just console where we fail, right? Get cost. We have to import it. Const get cost equal to require from utils, and inside util we will target this file get cost. So the name doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. It can be any name, but as long as you get the correct path, it's okay. Okay, so we define get cost and then we call it here, right? Okay, that's not our problem. The problem is we are not redirect back to the root route. So we need to look at the reason why it doesn't behave like we want it to. Okay, let's go and try again. All right, I expect to see a console log here. Shit, so many. Try again. Refresh. Oh, so the object is empty. You can see an empty object here. An empty object is actually true. So query.ct is an empty object. That's so weird. Oh, that's console log here. So there's no city in there. There's no city in there. So why don't we see? I'm gonna display it again. I'm gonna try again. Refresh the page. Okay, I think server is not running correctly. Oh. How about npm run dev? Okay, now it's thrown an error correctly. Cannot find module periods utils record. I think something wrong. Is it get cost? Is it? There's a module here. Utils get cost. Utils. Oh shit. We are inside the routes. Look at this, guys. This is very important. You run into these kind of problems a lot in the future. So pay attention to how I debug it. Right? I will explain the error here. I'm inside the routes folder, and the file, the folder I'm trying to target here is actually outside routes. It's outside routes. So I have to go up one level. Okay. And then you can target and then delete. Oh, I'm done. You go up one level, dot, and then slash, and then you actually see the suggestion from the VS Code. You actually have a folder called utils here. hit enter, then slash again, you see the list of the file inside the folder, right? So we are sure that we are targeting the correct path, right? I purposely use a different name from the function here. It's not really from tab9 about. It's not from tab9. It's a VS Code. It's not tab9. All right. So you have the correct folder, correct path. Close everything and try again. And then module. So Xbox is not defined. All right. I think it's module and then Xbox. Okay. Okay. Now our server is running. No error. Let me clear everything. Error. Earlier I did run this something like this. I run let me run the command again. Debug Weatherapp npm run dev. run dev. I run dev. I didn't do npm start, but I run dev. And run dev is this. You run the script in the dev properties. Alright, run dev. Hit enter. Okay, so now whenever you change something, your the code will be recompiled, and then your server will reflect the change. Right, and right here, I'm sure that it's not empty. Okay, let's try again to see if it works. Okay, I hit weather. Okay, I'm redirect back to the root route. This is what I expect. So now I'm gonna type in Hanoi, and then I look at my console here. When I click get weather, I expect to see a console Hanoi here, right? A log Hanoi. Where is it coming from? It came from the function get call here, right? Okay, cool. So now next step. Okay, wait, hang on. I need to slow down. Any question up until now? I think there's a lot of questions. It's very confusing. Yes, I know. But try to ask as many questions as possible. You may see that I kind of like do it like kind of smooth, and I figure out the problem right away when I ran into it, but if you do it by yourself, it's not gonna happen, and you will see a lot of errors. That's why you need to like ask now, like what does it mean, and what do I expect to do next, something like that. So I'm gonna recap what I did there, right? So basically, inside the weather route, we guard against the situation, the case that the user doesn't provide any city name, any city value. For example, it is the user just go directly open the browser and then hit this route without providing any city, right? Like this. We expect they are not expected to receive any information from the because there are no city. We cannot fetch any information for them, so we either tell them, okay, there's something wrong, or we just redirect them back to this route which has the form here, so they can type the city name and click it. All right. I will answer that question later, but let me finish this one first. Okay, that's why we need to guard against the situation that is there's no city, and then we redirect the user back to the root route. Okay. Else, it means else here, but because we already have return here, so I can skip the else here. Else here, we will start the next step, which is we gotta get the coordinate. Get coordinate from city. Okay, by using calling this function, and we need to define the function in order to call it, right? So we define it inside utils, and then inside util we have another file called get calls. Yes, and then inside here we define a function and just export it and import it in where was it, index.js. Okay, question from Ben. Where did you find that dev? I try ambient run dev. Is it missing script dev? Yes, exactly here. Actually, Khan already asked me, can you copy that code and paste it in the chat here? You missed that. Here, online, it's here. Can you see it? Can you see the chat here? It's here. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it again. Yes, Khan. Yes. And you have to close the server and run again, but remember the comma here. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. So now instead of console of the city, we want to fetch an API, right? We want to send a request to that API and fetch the coordinates. And we can use Markbox for that. If you go down, and we actually have some API like this. Okay, let's copy that and I will explain it because it's gonna take a long time. We're gonna call cons URL. We already done it a couple of times, right? Why do it go down like this? I'm gonna remove cities and then okay. So explain. This is the what we got from the API documentation on how to use it. We have something special called encode URI component. Wait, basically this function is like to translate, convert. It's gonna to, how do I say it? Convert unsafe string to safe string to pass to pass in the URL. So for example, if the user say something like cd slash hello, something like that, those characters are not self, are actually not self for the URL. Okay, it can understand as a slash in here, which is dangerous. And also in some database language, if you put it in some special quotation here, it will throw an error. For example, SQL injection. If you already know SQL, you should know that error. Let's type attack SQL injection. You put a very small quotation here to the UI, it will cause a attack problem. So that's why we need something called encode URI component here. It's just to protect your UI. That's it. And this is how we use it. Encode URI and then put a UI in here. So we want to so this one is gonna, it's not gonna be address, it's gonna be cities, right? You want to convert the city string here from unsafe string to a safe string in order to send it to our API server. And then we did access token. This token is came from the Markbox, and that actually already in here inside our ind. So we just gonna call it out, and I'm gonna copy the name, the variable name here, and then token. Instead of using token, we can do process dot env and then dot Markbox, right? So now we already have the URL. Now we're gonna call the URL using request module. And if you're so unfamiliar with request, I think this is the first time you use it in yeah, it's the first time, right? Okay, so we will call it something like this: request where is it, request, and then the URL. This one is an option. This second an option and this an error. So how the hell do I have this? Go into Node.js, add request. Okay, if you look at the Node.js documentation, I'm showing you guys how to read the documentation. There should be a request. It's inside HTTP, I think. HTTP file request. Okay. Request here. There's a lot of requests. Let's say HTTP.request. All right. So here we go. Something like that. All right. Okay. And we need to use it like request is an object, right? Inside that we have an object. Inside the object we have request have two arguments. The first argument is on the information that we want to request, and the second argument is the callback function. That callback function, let's go here, explain it here. This is the first argument. Inside that we have the URI with the method, also the option to pass the data, the response from the API server into JSON file for us. So it do everything in just one object here. And then this is the callback functions. So the whole thing here is a callback function. The whole thing here is a callback function. And that callback function we have two arguments, the error and the response. If it fails to do something, it will throw an error and we can see the error. And if it successfully respond something to us, return something to us, we can look at that response. Especially there's a property called body in the response, so we can using the AS6 restructuring syntax to target directly to the body. Okay, let's go and implement that right away. So let's see here. I'm gonna call this one, and this one. Okay, something wrong. Oh yeah. So here I'm gonna console log error or body. If error, we console log error. Okay. Else, we console log. Let's call this whole thing here is response. Response. Okay. We console log response. Okay. Here we need to return. I don't want to. Right. We return it, and then we else we console log response. Else console log response. Okay. Let's see what happened here. There's a lot of shit here. Close it. Weatherapp. Okay. Enter the city name Hanoi. Get weather. Request notify. Yeah, of course I had to import it. So we need to import request. Let's say, how do we where do I need to import request, and where do I need to import request? Okay, request package Node.js. All right, here we go. So we just need to like this. Here, this is how we import it. Request equal to require request, and then this is how we use it. Same thing. The URL, or it could be an object if we have multiple options, and then the callback function. Everything the same, right? So this is how we import it. And request is actually a built-in libraries for Node.js. So const request equal require request. Not here. I'm sorry. It should be here. Okay. Go back to our website. Delete everything, and then hit enter again. All right. So we should see something in here on our console here. All right. the whole thing here is the response from the API, and it's very long. Oh my god. So basically in there we want to target on the body. Oh my god, I want to find the body here. This is what we want to target at to see, not the whole request response object. We want to target the body. That's why we need a destructor, kind of like a destructuring syntax from AS6. So this thing here is going to be an object. Response is an object, we know for sure, right? Inside the object we target the body properties, and then we want to construct body. Again, let's go and let me clear the console here. Let me clear it. Okay, then we hit this endpoint again. We expect to see the body. Okay, this is the body. Inside the body we have it's an object. Inside the object we have the filters properties. Inside the filter properties in an array. Inside the array we have multiple results. For example, with a city name called Hanoi, we have the first result is actually Hanoi in Vietnam. The second one is the high school, the Hanoi High School in Hanoi. The third one is going to be the hotel. It's not the city, but it's a hotel, right? The fifth one is going to be somewhere in Czech Republic, so it's so far away. So we want to target, always want to target the kind of like the most accurate result, right? The most accurate result. So we want to target the first element always. This one is so bad. It should be there should be a line break here. It looks so bad. Okay, we want to target the first element inside the filters array. Now go back to our code, and then we have to do some more thing. For example, body dot filters, and then we want to target the first element 0. Okay, let's go back and then refresh everything. Clear everything here, refresh it, and then check again. Okay, this is what we want. In here we can have the coordinate here. I think this is the coordinate. Here, the coordinate, geometry coordinate. This kind of like unfamiliar to you, but it's also unfamiliar to me. If you work with map a lot, you will see this term a lot. Okay. So you want to target the geometry properties, and inside that you want to target the coordinates properties, right? And inside that you have I think this one is longitude or latitude. I don't know which one comes first though. You need to understand the documentations. So go here, and then we expect to see a result. Okay, I think it's gonna be long first and then lat later. Okay, here's an example result that we got from the data from their database. All right, geometry. Okay, geometry.coordinates. It's gonna be longitude and then latitude. Right, that's what we want. An array in the format longitude and latitude. Okay, now go back to our code. Oh my god, we can do something like this. Cons. Again, another called the structuring syntax. Long, comma lat equal to body, and then we need to target the geometry, and then inside geometry we want to target the coordinate, and then we assign the longitude and the latitude to long and lat here, and then let's console long and then lat, see what happened. Clear everything. Go here, enter again. So this is the two coordinates that we want, the longitude and the latitude. Right, I'm gonna stop here a little bit, just 1 or 2 minutes, and if you have any question, please ask. Can you go again slowly? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because like you should stop me like, hey, stop! I don't know this. Can you go slower? Right, wait. So I'm gonna go again. Basically, I'm gonna show you how to read a documentation, and then using some destructuring syntax in the ASIC to assign variables, right? So basically, you have a request method is a function, right? Inside this, I'm gonna move now. Inside it, you can have URL and then callback, right? Callback is like most of the time it will be a function, callback function, and the URL. The URL here is can be a string or an object. Okay, it's an object. For if it's a string, you only use get request, and you cannot have any option when you try to call that URL. But if you want it to attack some option, for example, you want to see method get or method pause or some header. For example, if you already done that in your GitHub project, right? You want to pass in some options, some header, something. So you can use an object, and inside the object you have URL here. The URL here is that from this. You can either come here for a shorthand for ASIC, or you can do URL here equal colon URL. This URL will go here and then go here. And then another key is JSON true. It means it will pass the response into a JSON file for you. You don't have to do it something like respond.json anymore. It will do that for you. Okay, and here's for the callback function. It means like, okay, after we receive the response from the server, it doesn't matter if there's an error or the body. You just using a callback to render it. So it's send a JSON to some. Yes, it send a JSON back to us. It gave us a JSON file. And then inside that JSON, we need to pass it into JavaScript object, right? Remember, you have to do something like const a equal to await respond.json, something like this, right? So here, if you do it for you, if you have an option JSON colon true, right? And the callback function here, we see the whole thing here. It's a function, right? And that function will be executed after the API send us something, after we receive something from the API. And that something can be two things: the error or the successful response or the error, right? Both. So that means we want to receive a JSON object. Actually, we actually receive a JSON object, but here JSON colon true here is like we passing the JSON to JavaScript object, right? JSON true means pass JSON to JS object, so that we can work with it. It's very simple. Oh, I haven't hit enter. All right. Okay, callback function, the error and the response. Let's call this one successfully. Callback function will have two things, right? Error or successful response. Okay, I'm going to comment out this line. So the callback function here will have two arguments. The first one is error. The second one will be successful response. And inside that response, there's so many properties that we don't want to use. We only want to use the body. So that's why we have an object here. Response here is an object, and then object we want to target the body only. We don't want to see any other information. We want to see body only. That's why we use a shorthand for the structuring here. And then we have to handle the case that if there's any error, we have to like tell the server, okay, tell the user or tell the server, or you can do anything. You can stop the code right here and then return a new page or something. Or you just console log it. Right now, just make it simple, console log it. Okay. If there's no error and we actually receive an actual body, you need to read the body here, like how I did before. You console log body, or you have to read the documentation here. Here, this is the body. The whole thing here is the body. Okay. Inside the body, you will have a couple of properties, and there's something called filters. I think filters here, right? This is the filters. Inside the filters is an array of many objects, and then in each object, and you have all these keys, all the properties, right? Inside deep down, you will see an object called geometry. Inside that, you have another object called coordinates, and this is an array of 2 elements. The first element is gonna be longitude. How do I know? I read it here. Where was it? Okay, here. Geometry dot coordinate. Inside that, you have longitude and then latitude. And instead of doing something like this, cons long equal to this 0, and then lat equal to that 1, I do something similar, one line, right? Okay, now console log long and lat. I see the expected results. This is my longitude and latitude. All right, cool. Yes. All right. Any question up until now? Are you lost or some? Are you lost? Oh my God! Can't leave me. That's clear. Yes. Kai, are you okay, Kai? Yeah. Hi. It's like you just woke up. Are you okay with this? Are you confused somewhere? No? Right. Joris? Joris? Daniel? Wang? There's a explanation inside the lab here if you want to read. I don't know why it is so red, but it's handlebars. So there's a couple of explanation for each step, and what is you expect to have inside the function. For example, here, right? No question for now. Right. I know it's very confused. If you so it's hard to have like effective questions. So let me finish the first one here first. Where am I? I'm lost. Okay, now we have the longitude and the latitude. Quick question: any difference between learning portal and your GIS? Where is my GIS? Where is my GIS? There's no GIS. You pause it in the lab. Which lab? Which one? Which lab? Got out a bit. Yes. This, you mean this? Any difference between learning portal? This is learning portal. And then which is? Let me see. I'm gonna copy this one. Hang on. Ooh. How the hell do you get this? Oh, this one is so old. This is the old version. Basically, yes, we Code School Learning Portal use a library that will like have you to render the markdown, but that library has some like some bugs that cannot render the handlebar snippet. So you can see here, as you can see here, there's a lot of red text here, so it doesn't render correctly, I guess, and that's why we had to use some kind of gist here, right? Because GitHub render it like more beautiful and like perfectly compared to this module. But basically that's the same, right? The content is the same. It's supposed to be, yeah. But actually we changed a lot of content during the time, during the 3 months, and the gist here is so old. So I'm gonna copy the content here and I'm gonna edit the gist. Hang on, just 1 second. Copy that, and then I'm gonna edit this, edit, and then replace everything with this. Updates here, Chris. Wait, why is it secret? And you can see it? How the hell? Okay, how is it? I saw that in my landing page. Okay. Basically, you cannot make it public. Okay, I can make it public. Okay, now it's public. You can see it. Right? It's the same version of the current learning portal. So don't worry. All right, where are we? Back to the topic. So now we have the coordinates. We want to get the weather using that coordinate. One more step, guys. One more step. So we are supposed to, after we get the coordinates here, we are supposed to do something else. Let's say, for example, callback. This is another callback. The name here doesn't make any sense to you, but we will have another callback function here. All right, this is a function. And then we call the function here. And how do we pass a function? Here the callback here doesn't make any sense. So we need to pass in, when we call the function get coordinates, we pass the city name, right? We also pass the second function, which is, let's say, get weather. Okay, and then we have to define get weather. Let's call back, just call it. Okay, and then we pass in longitude and latitude here. Okay, we define another function just for this one. Okay, longitude and latitude. We need to import that function get weather. It's kind of like similar. It's very similar to what we have done. Utils, and then it's gonna be get weather, right? Okay, now we create a new file just for get weather.js. Same thing. And then we're gonna define the function get weather, and then we export it. Module.export equal to get weather. All right. So in here we receive two things: the longitude and the latitude, right? So now I'm gonna console log longitude and latitude. So we are practicing using function and chaining function inside function, and then call it. It's gonna be the whole thing like in this file. This function gonna call get coordinate, and then inside coordinate, after you finish something, you will call another function get weather. That's how people define callback functions. And you heard a lot about callback function, but you hardly understand how it works, right? You hardly understand how it was defined. So this is how they define it. They define separate function. These are separate function, right? And we change those functions inside each other like this. So get coordinates will have two elements. The first one is the city. The second one is the get weather. This is a function. Okay. Inside get coordinate, we have two elements as we call it, right? The first is city and the second is going to be a callback, and this callback is a function, and then we call that function after we receive these two variables, these two values, and then we pass it to our callback function. Inside this callback function, which is the get weather, we construct it. For now, just construct it, do nothing else. Construct it, and I expect I want to see the result here, right? So let's remove everything. All right. Why the city is here? Let's go back to my console, clear everything, open my web, and then click on city Hanoi. Okay, now you still see those two coordinates, right? But this time it came from this function here. How do I prove it? I'm gonna prove it. Comes from get weather. Save it, run again. It's come from get weather. Right. Cool. So we are chaining function. Chaining. And then in this function we're gonna do another API call. So we do 2 times, right? Get coordinate first and then get weather. We're chaining to API together. So same thing, cause URL equal to something, I don't know. I need to go to the documentation and find what was it? That sky. All right. So basically this is the API, the sample API call they gave it to you. This API is so easy to use, but it doesn't say anything about here. Which one comes first? Which one is the longitude? Which one is the latitude? It doesn't say anything about it. So you need to read the documentations. I don't know if you have to be logged in in order to see it, but can you open this? Someone can you copy and try this link to see if it works for you? Does it work? Yes, nice, cool. So use that documentation and read on the response. You can see the sample request, and this is what you receive in return, right? The response you are receiving. It's going to be in this format. I think I like this API, so easy to use. So latitude comes first, and then longitude, and then longitude. So I'm gonna copy this. No. Copy this, and then put in the URI here. And this one is gonna be my API key, but I don't want to hack out like this because when I push to GitHub, it will be exposed, right? You want to use a global environment variable called what was it? Process.env and then I don't remember. That sky. I'm not sure. Yes, that sky. That's it. And here's gonna be longitude and latitude. Okay, I'm not sure. Shit, my memory is so bad. Latitude and longitude. That's so weird. As you can see, right? Here is longitude first and latitude, and here's like latitude and longitude. You need to read the documentation, or if you run into this kind of problem, it's very hard to debug. Latitude and longitude, so it's gonna be lat here, and then long here. Cool. And same thing. Repeat again. So we are repeating a lot, so that we can learn. Object is another callback function. Okay. Object and callback function. Inside the callback function we have error, and then we have another one called body. Okay. The option here is going to be URL equal to URL and JSON equal to true. Okay, format it correctly. Right, cool. and now we need to do a condition check. Just like it. I'm gonna copy this one. So I will show you error handling later after we finish this one first. Okay. Else we console show true or JSON equal. Oh shit! Thank you. Thank you. So Emily is actually following, but she's so quiet. Oh my god. Next step, I want to console log. Let's console log, right? Console log the body to see what happened. What do we have here? Console log body. Okay. Now let's clear everything, and then now I want to look back at my code, and then I'm gonna get rid of the console log. Right, it's on. Okay, go back and hit enter again. Do you have to import request? Oh my god, again, yes, I see an error. Request is not defined. Yes. So again, go back to your code, import request. Const request equal to require so smart, right? Then use it. Clear it. Open your browser, try again. Now you can see the results. It's an object, and then inside the object you have a lot of like properties that you're gonna use. Maybe you want to use hourly. So this hourly, the current hour will have the current temperature. No, it's here. Currently here. So we want to render these information to the UI, to our view. So let's say I'm gonna pick temperature here. I think this is F, right? I'm gonna pick temperature. In order to pick temperature, you have to target currently, and then inside currently you target temperature. Okay. Go back to the code. Body dot currently, and then inside currently you target temperature. Let's try again. Clear everything and then hit enter. Okay, this is what we want. Why is it here? How come it's still there? Oh, okay, delete it. Okay, this is the temperature we want to show to the users on the view engine, right? Okay, we got the object, the weather object back. Okay, now next and final step, also the final step, is how do we render this information to our view? Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess? This hard. This one is hard. If you read the lab, it's become a little bit easier, but if you don't read the lab, it's kind of hard. How about coil? How do I render the temperature on the UI? Coil. Are you there, Coil? Oh shit, he's sleeping. Oh my god, he's sleeping. He's not here. Okay, Emily then. Your yesterday project is so good. Was so good. I like it. So your turn. So how do I want to render the temperature on this weather? Hello, Emily. Hi. Okay, I want to render the temperature here because I already have it here. So, oops. So I'm gonna const temperature equal to this one. Okay, I want to render the temperature on this page. This is tricky. If you can guess it, it's very you're excellent. It's okay if you don't know it yet. Okay. So we can, as you can see here, actually inside the function, our function here, we can pass what? We can pass a function, right? We can also pass a string. What else can we pass? Yes, you need to use render. Yes, exactly. You need to use response dot render, something like this, right? And here you have to use the weather HBS. All right. But how do we call response here? It will be undefined. So how do we call response? As you can see here, we were able to pass a string. We were able to pass a function. How about an object? How about response object? Because we can also pass response object as well. Okay, let's go back and try it. What if I want to pass in a response object as well? Okay, response object. So this function get coordinates here. We also have a response object, right? And then when we call the callback here, let's say we want to pass in response as well. And inside here we can call response. Okay, now response is defined. Oh, magic. It's magic. Also we want to send in the temperature, right? So say temp equal temp. And then now inside our weather APS here, we can do something like if, I know if else, if temp, mean if we have the temperature, and then we need to close it, close the if, then we showing it, it's to temp, temperature, like that. Okay, now we can test. We can hit enter here. We don't see anything. What the hell? Go back and render weather means that we render the weather page with the data on the object. Yes, we exactly. Yes. Let's see if we actually render temp here. Do I have to console log? Yeah, console log temp. Okay. Now you can actually, all right, there's something wrong here. Cannot set header after the send. All right, cannot set header to it. So here we need to return, because if we just call response.render and then it will render something, and then afterward when it finishes the function it will render again. So you will see an error. It's very, you are like most likely will see a lot of this error during your development career. Basically it's gonna be something called cannot set header after they are set to the client, sent to the client. You see the error a lot, so pay attention. This error means like you already sent something to the client and then you sending again, right? You're supposed to be sending it only once. For each request you send once, you're not sending again and again and again. So here I think we need to use return. Yeah, return means stop executing. Now let's go back and try again. Here, right, something wrong again. Rolling response async. Oh my god, it's very hard because in here there's no track stack. It's very hard to debug. Can I say I don't know? Response is very close. Let me look at the code again. Let's stop the code and then start again, and then actually send something. Okay, here's a response. you cannot send it and then send it again. Where am I? Okay, console log return response render, and then rest response render. We don't need this at all. Just delete it because we already send the response in here. Go again. There we go. We actually see the temperature. So inside the route here, we don't really send a response, but we send it inside the chain, the function. Let's comment out in here, say something. We return a template. We render a template. We render the template inside get car. Okay. So we don't need to render it here. Cool. Inside a function, the return doesn't work for some reason. Yeah. So inside return here only works inside the scope of function, so it doesn't like mean anything. You can leave it. It's also working. And you can actually see the temperature here. Okay, same temperature. You can see it here. So wrap up. Okay, wrap up. Before we move on to the error handler, let's wrap it up. Basically, this function is okay for you, right? It's okay. Now we add more object, response object. This is an object, and for a function, we can pass anything. We can pass function, we can pass object, we can pass array, we can pass string and number, basically anything. And inside the object, there's some method called render, right? And then we pass it to the callback function. That callback function also have the response object here. And then we can call the render method inside the change function, which is get weather here. And then this render will render the template, the weather template here, the weather template here, right? The weather template, and inside the weather template we have a condition where is if we have temperature, we will render it. Okay. So that's basically it. Okay, that's chaining, and I think the next step is like, what if we have error? What if something wrong happened in the middle somewhere? For example, if we cannot get the location, for example, if for some reason our API here doesn't work, it doesn't return anything, and there's an error here, and that error will be logged to our terminal only, and then the whole process here stop here. It doesn't execute, and it's not a very good UX user experience, right? So we want to handle that case. Instead of return a console log, we can do something like this. First, we need to do a log so that the admin can understand it, right? Second, we can do something like this. Return response dot what? Return response dot render and also we can also it depends on what we want to render. We can either, we have the option to choose, right? We can redirect the user to the index page and say some error. Okay, there's something wrong trying to get your location, try again. Or you just go to the weather page here and then so, all right, something wrong with while fetching the weather, please try again. But there's no input box, so you have to click back and then try again. So let's go with redirect. Let's go with redirect here. Or you can just render about the weather here. Make it simple, render the weather, and then you need to show the error message, right? At least you need to tell the user something is wrong. So error equal to error or something is wrong while fetching your location. Okay, because this is inside the get coordinates function. So there's something wrong when we try to fetch your locations, and that's gonna call error inside weather here. We can have another if else. I'm gonna copy and paste another if else. If there's error, we can say we can just show the error. Okay, that's it. If there's error, we show the error. Where is it? Right. If there's error, we show the error. Same thing. The same thing happened in get weather. We also have to deal with the error there. So I'm gonna copy. It's very good if you copy and paste your own code. I like it. All right. So render weather, something wrong while fetching the weather. For example, the weather. Okay. Let's see what happened. What if I say some crazy shit here? All right. Hit enter. It's not working. Oh shit. Can I fetch property of an undefined because there's no there is no how do I say, there's no where the hell, okay, there's no result so that we can target to the filter. And actually this API is so smart that even if we type in the nonsense address or nonsense city, it understand it and it will send out a response and say like I think the response here will say like it's a normal response, but inside the filters here there's none. It's an empty array. So let's try it. Let's console log it. Console log body, and then we should see the same thing. Our server is rocking. It's crashed, so we have to start again. Okay, let's handle error is very hard. For especially right now, it's very hard right now. Okay, something wrong there. Okay, cannot read properties of undefined, but the message is forbidden. What the hell? Why am I blocked out? I think I'm locked. That's weird. This is the body. Message forbidden. Let's try with something like this. We need to restart the server. Okay, I'm going to clear everything. Then start with this. Alright. Okay, here's the response we want. There's no results in the filter. That's why we cannot show anything, right? So we need to handle one more step, right? So we can either do one by one, or we can try and catch. It depends. It depends on the language you want. So, but here, let's do it step by step, right? If body dot what was it? Body dot filters. If body dot filters and so I have one more to make sure that we have the property filters. Dot length is equal 0, means we don't have any response. We don't have any results. We will show the same thing here, but a different message. We cannot find your location. We cannot find your locations. This is a filter. It's a bug, right? We cannot find your location. It's different from something wrong while fetching your location. They are different. And yes, and then you can do the same thing. And let's start the server again. Someone chatting. Okay, we cannot find your location. Exactly, you cannot find your location because the city is so bullshit. What if I change this one to Seoul, and I expect to see temperature in Seoul? Cool. I think I lost so many people now. Do you want me to go over from the start to explain step by step now? Because we already have all the code here. So it's very easy to explain the code when we have everything. You agree? Please, thank you. Of course. Yes, obviously, yes. All right, let's explain everything. All right, let me summarize the reason why we have this kind of lab, this kind of exercise. We need to understand how to call API inside our backend server. I don't know if I have it here. So this is the purpose for today's lab. Nope. Okay, so we need to know how to call API inside our server. It's not number one, but just give it a star here. We need to understand how to render FPS, right? We also need to understand how to manage our router, browse, and we also need to know how to chain function inside each other. Right, we want to chain this function after the other functions. Okay, I think that's the most confusing part today. And what else? Okay, so handle errors is a small step, but we need to know how to handle error. Right, so let's go from the first one, how to call API. All right, syntax to call API is very simple. Request, and inside request, this one is going to be a URL or URI. If it's a string, you can only send a GET request without any other options. If you want to have some option, for example, header, content type, token or something, you need to use an object. Inside the object, you have URL. So you will have many more options. You just go to the documentation site and read it. So basically, we use two things: the URL here and then JSON here. Okay, JSON true here means like it will pass the JSON object to JavaScript object for you, so that you don't have to do response.json anymore. And the second element here is a callback function. A callback function, we don't know how to define it yet, but here I showed you before that how to define it, but let's go back to it later. Now you need to understand inside the callback function you have two elements. The first argument is the error. The second argument is the successful response from the API. So there, the error here doesn't mean that any error that the API return, but the error here is a network error. It's a network error, right? It's a network error. For example, there's something wrong with the URL, or something wrong with the server, that the server cannot respond anything. Those are error, right? And the response here, successful response, it can contain error as well. If the API server understand everything, it will throw back a response saying, okay, we recognize your request, but your request has something wrong in there. We cannot return what you want, but here's something to let you know there's some error. So that is another error, but that error it's not really a HTTP error, but it's kind of like an API error. So you also have a response, a correct response, or you can call it a successful response with a proper content, what you expect to receive, right? Something like this. Body, currently, temperature, this is what you expect to receive. So if there's an error, you will, at first you can solve the error to the terminal here. and you will do something else. You want to let the user know that there's something wrong when fetching the API or when fetching the weather, for example. And then you can use the response.render, and here's the name of the SPS file here. It's from here. You can see. Okay, here the name of the files, and here's the variable that you want to pass to the template. I'm gonna call it template. This is what you want to pass into your template, which is an error here. So you want to pass error to your template, right? Okay, if there's error, it will show the error. If there's no error, it will skip the whole thing here, and then it will show the temperature only. All right, so we are done with the error. And then if there actually, let's go here. Okay, if there's actually any response, and that's a successfully response, it's a successful response, sorry, and you have to look at the response. Okay, it's an HK because the API is so smart that you recognize that there's no result from the city name which I had in here, which is so stupid. I had something like blah 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 here, and it cannot find any coordinates based on this address or this city. That's why it returned a empty array. The filter here was empty, and because of that, it cannot read the first index of that empty array. That's why it throws an error, and our application crashed. All right. So we also have to handle that error as well. And here it is, same thing, but this time we send a different message. We can find your location. Please use another address. All right. Okay. Next, after we handled these two errors, two cases, I'm gonna check my message a little bit. Someone asking me. Okay, none. Okay, no worry. Go back. All right. So here we have this is a response we actually expect, right? And we use a destructive syntax of AS6 in order to get the longitude and the latitude. And then we use longitude and latitude. We can actually just call this again in here, right? We can copy all of these code and then paste here, but it's not like best practice because we want to separate our code so we can reuse as many as we can. So we want to make another function, and you run into like these kind of example cases in the future. If you read other people code, they use callback a lot, and this is how we define a callback and we use a callback, right? So we call the function inside a function. Here we call a callback, and we pass the necessary arguments. For example, response object and the two coordinates. And inside the function, we're gonna use response to render the templates to the UI, and we also use the longitude and latitude to call the API. Right? I think so. I think that's pretty much it. All right. We know how to render SPS. It's very simple here. And before passing the arguments here, the variable here, we need to pass it like this. Okay, an object. The second element is an object which wing or rephrase it. Okay, this is how he understood it. Response.render, and then the first element is the name of the SPS file, of the template file. The second element is an object, and that object is basically what we want to pass to our template, right? The data that we want to pass in the template. All right, finish that. And then how to manage routes. It's very simple here. You have to guard against this situation where there's no city, and if you already return something here, render the template inside the function. You don't need to do it again at the end here. Okay, So you also learn how to change a function. You can just pass the function as a callback here. This is a function. You pass it. You have to pay attention to the order. Response first, CT second, and the callback function at the last argument parameter. In here, the last parameter is a callback. You can call it anything. You can call it CB, which people normally use CB, or they call it callback. They are the same. And that callback gonna call the function again. That function, that get weather function, and that get weather function have two arguments: response, longitude, and latitude. So we need response in order to so that we can return render a template, right? So this is how people do it normally, right? There's also another way to use it using async and await, but let's not do it now. Let's focus on how we do it previously, how people previously do it. Then we will learn another way to do it in the next couple of class, or next couple of class, right? Right. So learning two way is so not effective right now. So this is called chaining functions. Yeah, how to chain function. Then we need to think of any errors, and then we have to handle one by one. Or you can use try and catch to just capture any error, and then you just return a random error, not random, a general message, say something wrong, and then good luck. Right. So, do you have any questions? No, yes, please. You were thinking like Weatherapp is easy, right? You might think, okay, why the hell do we want to do Weatherapp again? But I think it's good to practice these skills, right? So, any questions? Or do I have to like focus on any part here? I think analyzing the response here is like is kind of like a skill of every developer, so I don't need to do it again, right? You know exactly how to do it, right? Just console log and try it. And all right, so Daniel, is it okay? Or do you want to spend some time to practice, and then you can ask me later? Emily as well. Yeah, okay. It's actually written in the lab. I will show you. It's actually written in the lab. Here, it could be a little bit different if you pay attention, and you can tell the difference right away. But the form here is the same, and this one is kind of similar, right? And my Python 5 making API call geolocation and forecast kind of the same, but here I have more things to show instead of just the temperature. Also, there's some explanation on which object, which function is doing what, right? And also, let's say let me see, when we call this one, yes, we pass. Yeah, there's some explanation which works. And so if you have done all of that, you can add the filter get the forecast at the current location. Sorry, this is an optional. You can do it. And shit, deploying to Heroku is very simple. Let me deploy it now, right now, for you. I think it's very simple. And go to Heroku. Oh, wait. Oh shit, no. Okay, let's move this topic tomorrow, because you need to do some basic setup on your local machine before you deploy. You use Heroku. So if you can do it, you can follow the documentation on Heroku. It's linked here. Oh shit, I haven't put it here, but I will show you there. But if you can do milestone 8 by yourself, then it's good. If you cannot, it's okay. We will do it tomorrow. I will show you how to do it tomorrow. For now, just focus on practicing the code, not deploying. All right. And after you're done, let's use the GIF and record with the GIF, so I can check the UI first to make sure you work your project work first, and then I can read the code afterward. Okay. So any questions? No. I think it's like 4:30 now. I think you need time to practice on your own. I spend too much time, waste too much time of your time, right? Okay, if there's no question, I'm gonna end the call and then I'm gonna post it on YouTube. Right. Okay, no question, no question, no question. No questions. Nguyên, thank you. I think this one too much for one day. No, as long as you get wrap the concept, how you change the function, you get familiar with it in times. So don't wait too much. Yeah, I need to read again, definitely. Okay, goodbye guys. I'm gonna stop it now. Stop this one. And then